Radio Kolor 103 FM.
Proszę Państwa, gwiazda Grubych Ryb 2023, Alfie Templeman razem z nami. To będzie bardzo ciężki wywiad, bo jesteśmy przed przygotowaniami, przed występem Alfiego, więc będzie się dużo działo, ale znając Alfiego, będzie dobrze. I've said some horrible things about you. Welcome.
Lucas, why? Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah.
It's lovely to be here.
Nice having you. Everyone who comes to Poland asks about our cuisine, asks like about sausages,
Yeah.
pierogi and stuff like this. Alfie was prepared as well, but your favorite thing is?
Pickles, and I really want to try the pickle soup.
Pickle soup. Okay, we will work on the pickle soup, but let's start with something very Polish from my mother-in-law.
No way!
So they should be okay.
Oh my God!
Very smelly.
Your mum made these? Your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law, yeah.
She made these?
Yeah. Let's
No
see
way.
if you will manage to live with them.
Oh my God, these are amazing!
I think Alfie will stay in Warsaw a bit longer.
Yeah. Oh my God, thank you so much. This is the best interview ever already.
So that's the first part of the Polish cuisine. Yeah.
That is my breakfast.
Yeah. Enjoy. Okay. Last time we spoke a year ago, just before the release of Mellow Moon, just before your show in Kingston.
Yeah.
What happened during this year?
Oh, last year was probably the busiest year I've ever had. My debut album, Mellow Moon, came out, and then we ended up doing 100 shows.
100 shows?
Yeah, we toured the whole world, and I was not expecting that, to be honest. I was not prepared for it. Considering that the album was made in the pandemic, and then all of a sudden we're playing like 15 different countries that we'd never been to before. It was amazing, but it was just back-to-back shows. There was like certain months where we'd be playing like 25 shows, and it was pretty intense. But it was really good. We came out of it alive, and this year I've been working on the second album. So we took some time off touring to for me to just go back into the studio and put together the second album.
Yeah.
And
So you think mission accomplished? It's worked as it should?
Yeah. I think it's this album actually. There's still the same amount of spontaneity to it. I really believe that with music you need to capture the energy in the room when you make it. And a lot of music today doesn't really have that because it sits around for too long, kind of thing. But with this album, I really wanted to focus. I didn't want to start touring again and not be able to really get into like the studio mode, because I have to be one or the other. So last year when we were touring, I didn't really record too much music because of that. But this year, I've been really trying to capture the energy, trying to capture the excitement of, like being 20, turning 20, like becoming like a young adult, and also like making your second album. So
we will get to our age. I remember speaking with your agent, and she said to me like, Alfie's in recording mode. I will hear from him in like a week or two. You're really that isolated when you're recording an album?
Yeah, I kind of just turn off from everything. Yeah, I'm really bad at replying to people. Like worse than when I'm on tour, actually, because people are like, oh, he's on tour, so he's never going to reply to me. I'm normally fine on tour. It's just like when I'm recording, I just shut off from everything.
Maybe that's the medicine,
I think so. Yeah, like just isolation is quite nice.
Yeah, I spoke to Sam Ryder about you, and he said a thing that I agree with, that Alfie has his head screwed to his shoulders, and he's focused on the music, not on the silly sides of the whole show business. His career. Nothing
cool.
changed here?
I'll try to. I mean, honestly, I've never really cared too much about the image side of it. I just kind of wing it. I think that's the beauty in it. Like the last 5 years since I got signed, it's all just been kind of like, I started off with EPs because it was just like a little chunk of my life, like a little like half a year condensed into, a little EP, like 3 or 4 songs. And I really loved that. And it was just me winging it, just making it up on the spot. And it's still the same. But I also love that kind of cohesiveness of making an album now. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but it can do some damage to your brain when you're like in Australia, America, and in Europe, and you see all these crowds singing your songs. It can be quite tricky.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think people often forget that love gets in the way just as much as hate sometimes. It can be quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think we probably, at least for me, last year, I kind of hit a barrier where, I guess halfway through touring, I was just like, I wasn't really paying attention as much. Like, we have in-ears, so we can't really hear the audience too much. But you kind of just turn off, and it felt like I was on autopilot a lot of the shows last year, because I was just constantly playing the same set. So we kept adding older songs and spicing it up, and that's what we've been doing recently as well. So it feels really fresh at the moment. We're in rehearsals at the moment as a band and kind of putting stuff together. Yeah. So it's really good.
Yeah, I don't like when you're saying that Mellow Moon is your first album, like first CD, because there is so much stuff of you. One of the things that I love about you is that it took me really months to wholly discover Alfie Templeman, because we have, of course, Alfie Templeman with Mellow Moon and his hits and stuff like this. And then when you dig deeper, you will find some stuff that it's in the vaults, like Wonderland Dreaming. Which disappeared from Spotify, and we don't have the chance to listen to such gems as One More Day or August. Why?
Wow, thank you.
Why?
You know what? That's a really good question. I think one day it'll probably go back up on streaming. It's on Bandcamp, and it's on like YouTube and stuff. I mean, I made that when I was like 14. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Come on, show me a 14-year-old who records this kind of material.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was really fun. I recorded the drums at Joss's house, actually, my best friend Joss, who plays guitar in the band, when I was like 14, and we just recorded all the drums, and then I just like recorded bass and guitar and stuff, and it was like a very early release for me. It was me kind of like teaching myself how to produce. I've just always loved the one-man band thing, where you try and play all the instruments yourself, like what Todd Rundgren would do, what Mac DeMarco would do, what Tame Impala would do, all of that kind of stuff. It's just really exciting, really fun to me. But yeah, Wonderland Dreaming I still like listening to that album.
Yeah, and some of the songs made a reincarnation later on. Yeah,
I have a habit of doing that. I really love doing that. Yeah.
And then we have Ariel Days, which is, Alfie Templeman stripped down to the bone.
Yeah, that's
only Alfie, pure Alfie.
Yeah, that's very, very me, very raw, just very straight up. Ariel Days, it's been a project that I've had for about 5 years now, and I've released a couple of albums on it. I'm trying to work on another one at the moment, but the idea is to kind of just like never let tracks sit for too long. It's very folky, very just raw, very upfront.
So you're working on your new album as Alfie Templeman, and at the same time you're working on the third Ariel Days album?
Yeah.
Jesus, you're a workaholic.
Yeah, I love it. I just love making songs. So.
Do you remember the last day you weren't making any music or working on music?
Well, I get patches, so I can never go that long without holding a guitar. But like,
so what's your record?
God, probably like half a week or something.
Really?
Yeah, but that was, I don't know. Like, I have to like pick up a guitar at least and just do something, make something. I've got thousands of voice notes. I've had my phone for about a couple years, and I've accumulated about 1,000 voice notes now. So I keep getting lost in the ideas.
So you have an idea in your head, like a melody in your head?
I normally let them go around a little bit, because then, like it's the same with like going back to the Wonderland Dreaming thing. Like some of those ideas would just come up in my head like 6 years after I recorded it, and I'll be like, oh,
this aged well,
yeah. Oh, that's that actually sounds good still, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's like proof that it's a good idea if it sounds good like 6 years after you made it.
Yeah. Is it true that the second Ariel Days album was it happened because you dared yourself to write an album in a day?
That was the first one. Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah,
sorry.
the first one. Yeah, the first one I did in a day.
1 day. All the songs.
Yeah.
Lyrics, melodies, everything.
Yeah. That was really intense, but it was really fun. What I did was I recorded all the drums first, so I just had a free microphone set up. I got the kick drum, used a Neumann U87 as an overhead, and then I had another, I can't remember what the other microphone was. I think it was just like an SM57. And I just put it all together, recorded like 6 drum tracks, just not really knowing what I was going to play. Same thing as Wonderland Dreaming. And it's a thing that Todd Rundgren does quite a lot. You just play drums, you have no real concept of what the song's going to be. Wow. And then you hear the drums and you're like, this would be cool if I laid down a bass line in this key or something. And it all just kind of came together. You know, like those Aerial Days albums, they're not very long. They're like 20 minutes, but they're like a little pocket of just like a little song pocket kind of thing, like a little collection of songs that I made. I really like that stuff, so yeah, that one was really fun to make.
We've met one of your fans just outside our station, and he said that he's gonna see you for the first time tonight, and the first concerts are usually the best. I don't agree with that, because I saw you since now like 4 times on stage, and really every time I see you on stage, you're getting better and better. Do you feel it as well? You're getting more, I don't know, more conscious, more relaxed on stage?
Yeah, two very, I mean, those are the words that I'd use, conscious and relaxed. Yeah, you know, just trying to take it in more, trying to be present in the moment, you know, just like really thinking about what you're doing, but at the same time, being relaxed in it, you know, because I get quite anxious before shows, I get quite worked up, I get quite nervous. But I've been getting better at it, especially because we did so many shows last year. It became kind of like second nature to me. But I think, you know, we've been practicing a lot. We really kind of mastered the set list last year and got it right down to a T. So I think we're definitely getting better. I think we're definitely getting stronger as a band.
Yeah. What's the greatest compliment you've heard about your music?
Oh, I mean, I think it was probably Nile Rodgers liking. There was a song when I first met Nile. I went to Abbey Road to work with him, and he just put on some of my songs during the break.
So you've worked with Nile Rodgers and in the studio, in the Abbey Road.
In Abbey Road, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But I didn't
bit jealous here.
I didn't actually record anything with him there. I went to meet him there.
Still.
And
quite
it was
big.
really cool. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really sick to go in there. There was a song of mine called Things I Thought Were Mine, and he was playing that while we were like having some lunch or something. And he was like, "Man, this should have been a single," and like he was just being really nice about it.
It was a single, come on.
Well,
it has a video.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess it wasn't like a big single kind of thing. We never really shed too much light on it, but he like really loved it, and it was like a big deal to me that he liked it.
And he said that what everyone says, this should be really, really big.
Oh yeah, which is really nice. I don't know, like stop. You're gonna give him.
So can we expect something with Nile Rodgers in the future?
Yeah, on the next album. Yeah. We've been working together.
Done deal?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. So we've been working on it, and it sounds really cool. Just need to work on it a bit more, kind of thing. But it's a good song.
Yeah. So you turn 20 this year. Radio Kolor turns 30. I soon will be 40.
Oh!
That's ageism, sorry.
in 10 years, right?
Yeah, I wish. And the funny part is that I can relate to your lyrics, your life puzzles, and our generations are so much different. You're born with a smartphone in your hand, yeah. And Nile Rodgers says you're making great music. How do you do it? That's the question.
Oh, well, I mean, with the internet nowadays, it does make things easier, doesn't it? You can learn so quickly. Yeah. You know, I guess I learned about production. I always had an interest in music. You know, from a young age. My dad is a builder, but he has a lot of guitars in the house, and so
it's all Martin's fault.
Yeah, it's all my dad's fault, basically. Yeah. Martin. So I picked up on the guitar a little bit. I just taught myself. I think Dad taught me a couple chords, but he couldn't really teach me too much because he's left-handed, I'm right-handed. Oh. So, and I was listening to a lot of prog rock, like Rush and like Yes and Genesis and King Crimson and stuff, and that's where I like first fell in love with music. But there was something about listening to records. I'd listen to them, I'd put my headphones on and I'd go, how do they make that sound?
Yeah.
How do the drums sound like that? How, you know, what went through it?
So you're speaking technically or
Yeah.
more like
Technically, yeah. I had a fascination. Growing up, I never once thought of myself as a performer, a live performer. I just thought of myself as someone that would...
Craftsman,
work in a studio.
Yeah.
I never pictured myself on a stage.
Really?
No, I always just wanted to record music. That was my thing. I wanted to engineer and I wanted to produce. So as a kid, I saved up for a really kind of small drum kit and a guitar, and I got both of them eventually when I got a little bit older. And I used to just use like the tackiest microphones from like toys that my sister had or something, and just like record like demos with Joss, my friend, and then we'd burn them on CDs and like play them in the car and like give them to our mates when we were about like probably about like 9, 10. And we'd just do it live, you know. It would just be like me on the drums, Joss on the guitar, then we'd switch over and we'd just record covers or like write little bits of songs together and then just like record it. And it would be all distorted and sound like terrible. But there was something really cool about it. And later on, I got GarageBand on my phone and I started recording stuff through that. And then, yeah, when I was about 12, I started releasing music online. And that's when I just slowly started like building up.
That's a busy childhood, come on.
Well, you know, it was just fun. It was never really like
For real.
work.
Yeah.
And it still isn't. It just feels like, you know, it's fun. It's just what like I've always loved doing, just in my room. You know, and then obviously GarageBand turned into Logic Pro and I just like got better as a producer.
So you didn't work a day in your life?
Pretty much.
I
no.
don't treat my work as well, so come on, yeah.
It's literally that, yeah. Apart from when I have to do like really long press shoots or something. I don't know.
The press.
Yeah.
Boring journalists.
Journalism.
Yeah.
No, this is good. I mean like boring press in England.
English journalists. Okay, let's don't trash English journalists.
Yeah. Nah, let's trash it.
Let's trash it.
You got my permission.
Okay, once again, here's a proof. He's such a happy, joyful guy, and this guy
like
makes. Oh, come on! And this guy makes the most beautiful, depressing songs. The question is, how?
I guess. With that, in terms of the depression thing, it comes pretty naturally. Like, I don't know, if you just sing about your feelings and it's just at the forefront of your mind, then it talks.
So it's very sincere from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really... I don't want to just write songs to make people feel like poo. That was an accident.
That was an accident.
I just, especially with Aerial Days, it just comes out my mouth and I'm like, oh... So what I'm feeling right now, and then next minute I write a really happy song. I'm like, it's like, you know.
So after this interview, in this mood, you could write a song such as "One More Day," for example.
Yeah.
Or just below the above.
Yeah, just about like, oh god, yeah, that one's sad. Yeah.
That's tricky. Yeah.
That one's a tear shedder.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go with the new album. What can we expect? When can we expect it? Because we know some of the stuff, and Alfie will play. Some of the new stuff at our gala as well.
So in terms of studio recordings, I'm sure you'll hear some of it by the end of this year. The actual album will be next year.
Damn it.
Which is, I know it's a little while out, but it's like 6 months away until the new year. I'm finishing up the album, you know, hopefully in about 2 months' time it'll be done. You know, then we mix it, we master it, we make the album art, you know, all of that stuff. So it's just putting the pieces together.
It's still called the new album?
It has got a title, but I can't say it.
Okay. Okay.
But I've figured it all out. In terms of the actual album, it's got a complete different sound, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of break beats. There's a lot of arpeggiated synths on it. There's a lot of experimentation, really. A lot of really insightful... I've really worked on the lyrics. I've really sat down and tried to write good lyrics. So there's a lot of insightful things.
So less poppy than Mellow Moon?
Yeah,
less.
Yeah, less poppy, like more weird. But also, there's some really big bangers like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
You know.
That we already know from our shows. Yeah.
But then there's songs like Beckham.
That we will know this evening.
Yeah,
Get
absolutely.
Any names besides Nile Rodgers? Will Bloomfield is there?
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool people I'm working with on it. So there's a guy called Karma Kid, and his actual name is Sam, and he's just an incredible producer. He's worked for like Hack Baker. He does stuff for like Willow Kane. He's just like a really great producer, like so versatile. A great guy called Will Bloomfield, who I've worked with in the past.
Congratulations on your marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Alfie plays.
Shout out, Will.
Alfie plays weddings as well. His number is 044.
Very impromptu wedding stuff. Yeah, we that was fun. Yeah, that was really good. So Bloomfield's great. I've been working with the guy that runs this label, Dan Carey, who is one of my favourite producers of all time. And we did Beckham together, and there's a couple other songs on the album that we're doing as well. And he's got a studio down in Streatham. It's just really cool. It's just really fun. You go in and you just have a song by the end of the day, and that's the energy that I like. All the people that I've been working with, I have to capture that energy where you go in and you come out with something and you can hear like the amount of just like, you know, just excitement that you put into making it, like the song feels alive, jumps out at you when you press play. So that's something that's really important to me. And also a guy called Josh Scarborough, who's amazing. He's super young, super talented, just like has such an amazing natural ear for like melody and lyrics, and just like also capturing energy once again. So it's really fun. It's just going to be a really cool album. Yeah.
Worth waiting.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so no touring this year, only
I'm sure there
recording mode.
I'm sure there'll be a few one-off gigs. You know, we're planning on that. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying recording at the moment. Really enjoying just putting together an album again.
Okay. So we are waiting impatiently. And since we are waiting, we can see how Alfie works right now. He will do a couple of songs for us. So thank you, man. I really love you.
Thank you, Lukasz.
All the best.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much, dude.
Cheers. See ya.
Radio Kolor 103 FM.